Anyway, the question from Lachlan is maybe you could discuss the differences between humbuckers, P90s, and Charlie Christian style pickups. I'm liking the P90s lately, not sure why.
Yeah, so P90s are a single coil pickup. Humbuckers are two coils because that bucks the hum, they found out. It's kind of like, back in the olden days when you had a guitar like this with two pickups and it would be humming like crazy, but when you put it in the middle position, it went away. And it's like, well, what the heck, So Mc- Mc- McCarthy, is it McCarty? McCarty came up with the humbucker, I believe. And yeah. Now, the Charlie Christian was a blade pickup or a blade piece, and I think there was cobalt involved in the early ones. The magnets are all different on these and stuff. You can have different types of magnets and what have you. But the Charlie Christian is a blade pickup. You really don't have any adjustment per string like this has screws. And the humbucker has screws. But I find that's okay. You just raise and lower the pickup. Usually the top side is the little weaker because of the size of the string, right? So that you got a big string here and you got a skinny string here. Obviously, the big string, like on a piano, is going to be louder than a little string. So that's why a little string on a piano has three little strings. But at any rate, so yeah, you can adjust the screws. So the P90 guys are starting, they just sound different. They might sometimes people say they're a little clearer sounding. It's got a cool middle position sound in it. Anyway, and then the back pickup, wherever. So it's got a lot of bite. This guy. It's just a nice, clear sound. So the P90s are nice. And, actually, I was talking with Tom Rotella, and he's been looking for a Gibson 225 with the original. And he's got he has guitars with P90s with the original pickups. And sometimes they can be problematic when they're can be noisy when you get into certain rooms. They pick up different light frequencies, and same with the Charlie Christian. So the remakes of those, a lot of them, they're able to get rid of that buzz, by the way they build it. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. But there are devices. Bruce Foreman's got a little device, the hum canceller, that you plug it in and gets rid of the buzz off your old Charlie Christian, because he's playing Barney Kessel's home guitar. So old electronics, old stuff can be problematic. I took a Charlie Christian pickup on a Super 400 once to a gig, and I swear, you dim the lights and the hum goes. It's like picking up the whatever's coming out of that thing. So it's weird. Yeah. I like the newer P90s. And by the way, these particular P90s are made by Heritage, I think, are stellar. Stellar, man. Stellar. So on that 152, 175, I had a Clausen, which, people, you associate Clausen with pickups. And I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was really nice. Um, and then of course you have all the main builders, Seth, Seymour Duncan, um, Lawyer, and all those guys making them. So
One thing too for those pickups, if they're noisy, is like make sure you have a good cord. If you're using a crappy old cord, you're gonna have more noise. And
that's
it's
true.
got like a crappy shield in that cable, you're gonna get more noise. It's as simple as that. So I feel like it's worth it to buy a better cable. 'Cause that way you're like, okay, it's not the cable. Because even like Gary, I've been working with Gary on his recording setup. He's over in Italy, and he's taken a line out of the Henriksen, and he says that's noisy. Weird, right? Shouldn't be, but so there could be some electricity things going on in the room with that. It could be the cord, could be the cable. Cable, the ground's disconnected or whatever. So there's a lot of with the noisiness of stuff. There's got to be some consideration into the cable.
Yeah, and on a real cheap cable, you can pick up the cable and hit it on the floor, and you can hear it. And I remember having cables like that. It's like, wow, this is a really bad cable. You can hear it when you flop it around. So yeah, now you get a good cable without a doubt. So what do you think? Some guys have cables there. I know a bass player. I swear to God, it looks like a bass. It looks like a vacuum cable, man, hooked up to a Kirby. No offense, Kirby. Um, but so he swears by that particular cable. He had it specially made for him.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it could be made to carry a more like wattage or voltage too. That's why like speaker cables are fat
Yeah,
because you got to pump a lot of wattage and voltage from an amp to the speaker. So you need, so I'd imagine if you have a really crazy bass rig, that's pumping out a lot of wattage or something, like, yeah, you want to make sure your cables are
hmm
robust.
absolutely. Yeah. Garrett here said, I've replaced the P90s on my 63 Gibson SG. You got to, wow, cool. With Lindsey Fralin P90s, and they sound much better with less hum. Yeah. Yeah. There's something to be said with the pickups they build nowadays. And then you go back and you think, gee, I like that old crappy sound better. You end up taking them out, putting them back. Don't throw away your original pickups, man. Don't throw them away. And take them out very gently.
And then let's see. John says here, I find that with cables, after a while, the connection wears out, and they don't last forever.
Yeah,
That,
makes sense. Yeah, and not only that, the jack in your guitar, you mean?
yeah.
That,
Plus, even like we did a whole day in our recording class on wrapping cables. Like, do you know how to wrap a cable where you go over and under? And do you know why you're supposed to do that?
well, isn't it because, well, why is there give me your reason.
Well, the main reason is because it protects the cable. Because if you're just winding it up like that, you're constantly twisting the cable. And then eventually the inside of that cable is going to, you can't twist something forever.
Right,
So the theory is if you go twist it one way and then you go back the other way, you're not doing a twist. You're
right,
maybe one half twist and then another half twist, and it keeps its shape.
right,
And then it's easier to uncoil as well.
right. Yeah.
So, but I don't know, I've never seen a guitar player in my life wrap a cable correctly. Like that over under, unless it's like a 50-foot guitar
Well,
player.
that-
You know.
That's just it. On a long cable, I mean, you really got to do it, but on a 6-foot cable,
But still, you're still twisting it every time you wrap it up like that. So it's like you're screwing in the cable to itself.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's only going to last a certain, whether it's 6 feet, 3 feet, or whatever. You're you're
Right.
screwing the cable into itself.
Right. Yeah.
So it's eventually gonna give out for sure. And like I've never really paid attention to that with my own guitar cables or anything like that, but after the explanation in class and stuff, I was like, "Oh yeah, well, now I do it with everything. My headphones, I don't want my headphones thing to go bad, you know? Like
Right.
everything should be
Right. Should be done correctly. Yeah.
right."
Yeah. Good. Good advice.